गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः सीताय पतये नमः सीताय पतये नमः. So we were looking at how after Bharat ji has gone back to Ayodhya, he has established the padukas of the sandals of Sri Ram. Sandals represent the ideals for which Sri Ram stands, and keeping that as the ideal, Bharat ji living outside the Ayodhya in a small cottage like Ramchandra ji, having matted hair, wearing the bark clothes, eating only fruits and tubers, he continued running the kingdom along with his brother and the ministers. They were living in the palaces, but Bharat and Shatrughna, they were outside in the village, in the cottage. And after that the scene changed and the scene has come back to Chitrakoot. And as the time passed, more and more people, as they came to know that Ramchandra ji is residing here, because now when Bharat ji with the whole army came, the word must have spread. Everyone came to know, Arey, Ramchandra ji is there, the Purushottam, Maryada Purushottam Ram is here, and they all started coming, the saints, sages started coming, and all peace was gone. And Ramchandra decided it's time to move from here. And as he entered deeper into the Dandakaranya forest, there he came across the ashram of Atri and Anusuya. Last week we told you about the Atri Muni and Anusuya. They are the parents of Dattatreya Maharaj, and I told you the story. And there at that time, Atri Rishi said to Sita ji, go and take Ashirwad from Anusuya. She's old, she's inside doing her tapasya and she's doing her austerities. Anusuya being one of the Pativratas, remember. So Sita is also Pativrata and Anusuya is also Pativrata. Anusuya came before Sita ji. So Sita ji has got all those qualities not only from her mother, but not only from Kausalya, but moreover from our Anusuya ji. What is Pativrata Dharma? And here, so there when they entered, Atri Rishi, he who is the seer of all the three worlds, he could see who Sri Ramchandra ji is, and he does the welcoming of his appropriately by doing puja and all. And same way Ramchandra ji also, knowing, he shows that he doesn't know that he is Narayana, but he falls at the feet of Atri Rishi, and at that time Atri Rishi gave him Ashirwad and told Sita ji, go to Anusuya and take her blessings. And she is very old, tapascharanti suchiram dharmajna dharma vatsala, and she is the embodiment of dharma, and go and learn some dharma from her, how you should live your life. Antastishtati tam Sita pashyatva rishudana tatheti janakim praha ramo rajiva lochana. And therefore Sri Ram, at the moment Atri Rishi looked at Ramchandra ji from the corner of his eye, just sometimes if the resonance between people is there, if resonance is there, if you are vibrating at the same frequency, a mere look is enough for the other person to come to know what is going on or what that person wants by that look. Huh? So if I look from here, look at him, and I look at like that, look at, immediately you'll come to know I want water. Just I'm telling you, one, it's a gross example, but uh, uh, other things also, because you are so in tune. So similarly, the moment Atri Rishi saw Ramchandraji from the gave a look to him, immediately said, Sita, you go inside, take Ashirwad from Sita ji, and come back quickly. Don't spend too much time there. Why? Because once the discussion starts, ladies, so Ramchandraji is very clear. Take the message, learn the dharma, whatever she has to say in few lines, and let's go from here. We are not here to become a burden on the elderly Atri and Anusuya, because then they will say, have food, we'll do this for you, stay here, and all the, galata begins then. And therefore, then he said, all right, and told Sita, what? Gaccha devim navaskritya shighramehi punah shubhe. Gaccha devi namaskritya. What the instructions of the Atri Muni was there. She will not go because Atri Muni has said. When the husband says, then she will go. So husband says, Gaccha devi. He is calling her Devi. Not Pati, Patni, no, Devi. She also calls him Deva, she also calls her Devi. So, Gaccha Devi Namaskritya. Go and do Namaskar and get whatever Ashirwad you have to get, in other words. And Shigram Ehi Punah Shubhe. And, oh auspicious one, come back very quickly. Shigram. Tatheti Rama Vachanam Sita Chapi Tatha Karot. Tatheti Rama Vachanam Sita Chapi Tatha Karot. Wrong place I stopped. And then Sita ji immediately went inside to carry out the orders of Shri Ram. And very few examples we get like this. One lady was there, girl was there, and she lives in London. She used to be here, she was a student here, and she wanted to stay in Australia, so she was trying to get together with some guy who is from Australia. So once she gets married, she also gets the visa and permanent residence. But he used to abuse her, used to hit her. So one day she came, she was in second year that time or first year. She came, Swamiji, this is happening. I said, he doesn't deserve you. Throw him out. Get him out of your life. She did, but now she couldn't find anyone else because she's come from India. And she was working this, that, everything. And eventually her parents fixed her with a boy who she knew back in Nigeria when they were young, and he was settled in London. And even though he settled in London, but she got married, everything. They also troubled her because till she doesn't get the visa, they were to make her do this, that. But eventually, now she's okay. But after marriage, she came to know he is schizophrenic. And then she came once she got the permanent residence there, then she came to Australia. Swamiji, let's go for a walk. Swamiji, this has happened. What do I do? I said, what do you do? Why did you go there? You tell me the truth. Did you love him? No. Then why did you go? For visa. Good. Now face the consequence. Now, second question. What options? You have got two options. One is, are you still, is there affinity between you or not? Do you, have you started liking him for who he is? Does he respect you and take care of you? And she says, yeah, all that is good. I said, then you have got two choices. Either you leave him and live your own life. Now you got your visa. Bye-bye, ciao. And the other, you be like Sita. You take care of him. Be completely devoted to him. That maybe that is your destiny. And let that be your sadhana. Choice is yours. I'm not going to tell which one you have to do. She chose the second one. She nursed her, nursed him, and he's much better now. Now he's working also. He's a pharmacist. So very rare such cases are there. अरे तो आजकल तो बच्चे, young boys and girls, at a drop of a hat they want to divorce. So it takes a lot of sacrifice and commitment. So here Sita ji is ever at all her actions are. See, imagine if Sita ji is not going to see Anusuya without the permission of Sri Ram. You think anything else she will do without asking him? You think she will not? They would not have discussed the coming of Ravana. They would not have discussed the abdication if it was, or something in that direction. They would not have discussed that the hologram must come out. They would have discussed everything. And when Anusuya saw, Dandavat pati tamagre sitam drishtvati hrishtadhihi Anasuya samalingya vatse siteti sadaram divye dadau kundale dve nirmite vishwakarmana dukule dve dadau tasmai nirmale bhakti sanyuta. When Anusuya saw Sita lying prostrate before her like a stick, she was thrilled and filled with exhilaration, extreme delight, because here is another person. Anusuya, she is also mother of Dattatreya. She is not an ordinary person. So she knows, by looking at Sita, she could see what is she made up of, what her character is, what her qualities are. And she was so happy to see that another Pativrata has come in front of her. And naturally, जिन्होंने लड्डू खाया है वो दोनों, हाँ लड्डू बहुत अच्छा है, तो वैसे ही ये दोनों हैं, दोनों पतिव्रता हैं. They both are resonating. So filled with exhilaration and extreme delight, and exclaimed, "O daughter Sita, Divye dadau kundale dve nirmite vishwakarmana." Here, take these two earrings. They have been created by Vishwakarma himself. Who is Vishwakarma? The architect of the creation. That is Vishwakarma. Architect, carpenter, goldsmith, all put together. Architect. And when giving it to her, when Sita ji took it from her hands, dukule dve dadau tasmai nirmale bhakti sanyuta, and immediately Anusuya ji embraced her into her bosom very fondly, and also gave her what is not only two earrings but also two clean silk saris made by Vishwakarma, the smith of the gods. So why? Someone was telling me last class, that because as a pativrata you have to be always looking good to the husband, not same track pant every day. Always fresh. And Sita ji, she is Divya. She is not an ordinary one. So she gives her two saris which never become old. They will never look bad, dirty. Such saris she gives. आ जाओ. अंगरागं च सीतायै ददौ दिव्यं शुभानना न त्यक्ष्यते अंगरागेण शोभा त्वां कमलानने पातिव्रत्यं पुरस्कृत्य रामम् अन्वेहि जानकी कुशली राघवो यातु त्वया सह पुनर्गृहम्. The auspicious lady Anusuya also gave Sita divine, magnificent and auspicious angarag, and said, if you put this on your face and skin, your skin will always look fresh and healthy. It will never, because they are living in the open. They are taking bath in the rivers. They are walking around in the hot sun and facing all the challenges of the weather. So तुम थोड़ा सा only 5 days of Kailash we go, 19 days we go, our skin becomes dark, it becomes more like leather. Huh? The hair and all becomes so brittle. But here, so she says that you will retain your beauty and youthfulness, and that it will never decay and decrease. O Janaki, Pati Vratyam Puruskritya Ramam Anvehi Janaki. And O Janaki, you should always follow the vow of loyal, chaste wife, and always follow Sri Ram. This is that is why I gave that example. She's not following, but she is leading there, because sometimes the husband leads, sometimes and we will see, if you don't know, if you come into Adhyatma Ramayana, here Janki is following Ram. There in Adhyatma Ramayana, after some time, after that, Janki leads, Ram follows. Why? Who has to be killed? Who is being killed here in Adhyatma Ramayana? Dashanan Ravan. How many heads? 10 heads. What are the 10 heads? 5 sense organs and 5 organs of action. 10. 10. Whom is Sita ji going to kill in Adhyatma Ramayana? Sahasra Ravan. What is that Sahasra Ravan? 1,000-headed Ravan. My God, there was a 1,000-headed Ravan also? Yes. And I think I mentioned it before, there Ramchandra ji gets abducted by Sahasra Ravan, and Sita ji takes on the form of the Kali and destroys that. And that Ravan is not outside, like this Dashanan Ravan. Because 5 sense organs and 5 organs of action are for the body. And where is the 1,000-headed Ravan? Where is he? Where do you get 1,000 heads? In your mind. The various roles that you play stupidly. तू मैं चलती रहती है. There is only one waker. But the waker then in the waking world takes so many roles. There is only one dreamer. That one dreamer taking the roles for all the people in the dream. Sahasra, all the hats that you are wearing, they have to be killed in one go. They cannot be killed one by one. You cannot kill one by one all the waves on the ocean. All the waves have to go in one go. So that the mother is able to do it, not the Purusha. The Shakti does that. And therefore Shakti is greater than the Purusha. Sometimes we say Purusha and Prakriti are equal, but where is their role? Here in this example, Purusha is killing only a 10-headed Ravana, and Shakti is killing 1,000-headed Ravana. Who is more powerful? One is killing only the gross person, the Shakti is killing the subtle person. Who is more powerful? Socho. So you should always follow the vows of a loyal, chaste wife, and always follow Sri Ram. Let Raghav Sri Ram return home with all welfares along with you. So she is giving her a cue that under no circumstances, whatever may happen in her life in the next year, because they are now entering into the Dandakaranya. Under no circumstances Sita ji should commit suicide. She should not. But many times she thinks also under the thing, when she was in Ashok Vatika, she says the life is not worth living. But then she remembers these words. Because what is Anusuya ji saying? Let Sri Ram return home with all welfares along with you. Ram Rajya is incomplete without Sita ji by his side. Understand? Realization is not complete if mind is not reformed, mind has not become divinized. I'm connecting. So you can divorce the mind, or the mind dies through some certain exercises, pranayam, etc., etc., very willful exercise. You can kill the mind temporarily and come to know I am and go into meditation. But it will remain incomplete until and unless the entire world is not seen as the self. And to see the whole world as the self, who sees the world as the world? Self doesn't see the world as the. Then who sees the mind? Will the mind stop? The mind will continue to bubble thoughts. It is never going to stop. So mind must get divinized. Here mind is the Sita, Purusha is the Ramchandraji. So that mind which is completely at in tune with Ramchandraji, in what is Ram Rajya? Ram Rajya is where there is no war. Ram Rajya is where there is everyone is equal. Ram Rajya is where there is all prosperity. Ram Rajya is where everyone is committed to the dharma. Where is this everything? Where is the whole creation? In the mind only. So mind needs to be divinized. And mind can only get divinized when it is focused on the Atma. Yesterday's class in Kathopanishad. And then what is Atma? What is the nature of Atma? Atma is Prakash Swarup. Prakash Swarup means it is of the nature of Chit. It is of the nature of knowledge. And that knowledge, that Prakash, that Chit, then and already we have seen in that yesterday's that Astiti Iti, that Atma is. Now what you are seeing, that Atma is not only is, it is also Prakash Swarup. That means it is also Chit. When Sat and Chit become one, then there is Ananda. Then the whole creation, everything in the mind gets divinized in an instant. In an instant. When the mind again becomes clicked with thoughts, immediately every thought is an expression of Ananda, is an expression of the reality. Then you don't have to run away from thoughts, you don't have to run away from emotions, you don't have to run away from situations, because everything is you. Ramchandraji never runs away from situations that he is presented with. He could take that step. One moment he was said he was going to be the king, next moment he is told you have to go to the forest. If he was excited and if he was depressed, you cannot talk like this about him. But he was ever centered. See? So in this way, this is the spiel, this is the way I am looking at it. Here it is not written that way, but Adhyatma अपने ऊपर तो apply करना है ना. If you don't apply it on yourself, what's the point? भोजयित्वा यथान्यायं रामं सीता समन्वितं लक्ष्मणं च तदा रामं पुनः प्राह कृताञ्जलिः राम त्वमेव भुवनानि विधायते. Oh, together. राम त्वमेव भुवनानि विधाय तेषां संरक्षणाय सुरमानुषतिर्यगादीन् देहान् बिभर्षि न च देहगुणैर्विलिप्तस्तत्त्वतो विभेत्याखिलमोहकरी च माया. After that, she systematically, in a proper way, served meals to Sri Ram along with Sri Lakshman and Sita ji. Then she folded her hand and said to Sri Ram, "O Sri Ram, after having created all the bhuvanas," now here we are seeing the greatness of Anusuya, who just as a matter of fact, no special, after feeding him everything, then she says, after having created all, she's seeing what Ramchandraji is, that Ramchandra is none other than the Narayana himself. Then he says, after having created all the bhuvanas, the worlds, how many worlds are there? How many worlds are there? Three. Which ones?
Patal, world you mean, right?
World?
Bhu, Patal and
Okay. When you say three, there is only three worlds. Which are the three? Waking, dream and deep sleep. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti is the three worlds. And from Brahmaji's point of view or Narayana's point of view, this is from individual point of view, three worlds. This is our experience. And what are the other worlds? 14 worlds. There are 7 higher worlds and 7 lower worlds. So 7 higher worlds are represented as the Kundalini also, and the 7 lower worlds are, they begin from the from the thighs, then the knees, then the below the knees, then the calf muscles and the shin bone, then the ankles, then below the ankles, then the niche tala, sutala, tala, patala, I don't know all those names. Anyone remembers? थोड़ा तो सुना तो है ना, जाके आए थे वहाँ पे. भूर्भुवः तपः महासत्यम, ये पता है हमें, नीचे के पता नहीं है. So these are the 14 worlds. Another way you can put as 3 worlds are, सोचो, I'm challenging you now.
Creation, maintenance, destruction.
Creation, maintenance, destruction is the process, is the journey of creation. But worlds we are talking. Creation is not a world, maintenance is not a world. World. Past world, present world and future world. Past, Bhuta and Bhavishya and to present. So these are the 3 worlds. So in this way, you have to question these things so that your understanding about, you just don't take world. World is this world. Just accepting this world as the world is, spirituality is not going to begin. You have to expand your mind. You have to become all inclusive. You have to come to general principles. If you live at individual principles, you will keep getting what you have been getting. If you come to general principles, you will get what Narayana is getting. Because then you will get his vision. He works on general principles. You work on individual principles. Individual principle believes, accepts, is convinced that I was born in this world. After I go, the world will continue. Narayana is also Purusha. He believes, he is convinced. How? What is that? That creation came out of me. Creation is part of me. I am independent of the creation. Creation cannot happen without me. Creation cannot influence me. So which one is beneficial for you? You all work towards wanting to be Narayana. You don't want to be influenced by wife or husband or children or society or government or whatever. But then you are still practicing being individual. It's never going to happen. But then what will happen? Only frustration. Only frustration. Only agitation. Then mental balance goes. So if we to shift from individual thinking to divine thinking or God, how God thinks, you can never come to know how God thinks, because the day you start thinking, you are God. But we must attempt. In that attempt, these small things of the individual life, they stop troubling us. And in this manner, she says that, O Ram, after having created all the bhuvanas, the 14 worlds, you sustain and take care of them by assuming the various forms of different gods, humans and lowly creatures. But nevertheless, you are not attached or involved with, engrossed or indulgent in, or clung to those forms. See, अभी I'm just telling, continuous satsang हमारा चलता रहता है. Every day satsang is going on. Otherwise the japa is going on. Nothing great. I'm talking about, it happens to many of you also told me that. Out of the blue, the doctor comes, calls me, says, Swamiji, I will help you. I told you. he was not even in my radar. But it happens. Someone comes and gives you a hand and takes you across the difficulties. See? And you all have experienced every now and then. The more you are in tune with yourself, meaning divinity, meaning the spirit, the less you are having regrets in life, the less you are having expectations in life, the more you are in tune with your essential nature, with the Lord, but automatically you start being in tune with nature, because that nature is inseparable from the Lord. And in this way, you take care of them by assuming the various forms of different gods. So for me, if I say that doctor came as the incarnation of the Lord only, isn't it? See? So, look, every one of you is, from his point of view, every one of you is nothing but him. From water's point of view, every wave is nothing but water. Water's nature is very deep and infinite. And from water's point of view, what is the status of the wave? Insignificant. And water doesn't see any wave as separate. See? Lord also is exactly the same. Ocean sees all the waves. I am only expressing as all the waves. But waves cannot affect me. I am the cause. Waves are the effect. Effect can never affect the cause. Cause alone expresses as the effects. The ocean alone is expressing as all the waves. So similarly here, that Lord alone has created the 14 worlds, bhuvanas. Earth is one of them, in the middle. He has created the 7 above and the 7 below. So every being, everything in all these 14 planes of existence is nothing but Lord alone. The material out of which everything in these planes of existence is made is nothing but the Lord himself. And that is Sri Ram. How has he made it? He has made it with the help of his Shakti, Sita ji. That will come in Adhyatma Ramayana. Or actually it came in this chapter also, the first chapter, Ram Hridaya. There the foundation was given, that Ram cannot do anything. Sita ji says, I gave birth to Ram. Meaning, Ram got the form, Ram manifested as Ram, that infinite consciousness manifested as Ram because of me. He grew because of me. He was born out of the payasam because of me. He studied in 4 days, he studied all the scriptures under Vashishta because of me. He killed Tarka and Khar, Dushan, everything because of me. And Ravan also because of me. Because remember how the story began. There, all these, that didn't come here. That will come in Adhyatma Ramayana. There she talks about when Ramchandra ji and Sita ji, Hanuman ji, Sugriv, the whole Ram Darbar is sitting on the throne, and all the Rishis, Munis are standing in front and singing the glory of Ramchandra ji, and Purusha Suktam and Narayana Suktam and Durga Suktam, and all those Suktams are going on. Sita ji is sarcastically smiling. And the Rishis suddenly, Narad ji is right in the front. He says, Mother, why are you smiling like this? He says, I am only smiling because you are saying that Ramchandra ki jai and all this jai. He cannot do anything without me. And he has killed only one Ravan. There is one more fellow to be killed. Who is going to kill that? Let me see if he kills that one. But those stories are not in Valmiki Ramayana. Those stories are not there in Tulsi Ramayana or Kamba Ramayana. This what we are doing is Adhyatma Ramayana, written by who? Maharishi Vedvyas. And Adhyatma Ramayana is written by Valmiki ji himself. So here with that a bit of background, then she says, you sustain them and you take care of them by assuming the various forms of different gods, humans and lowly creatures. The earth cannot remain in its orbit without all other planets and sun in its place, isn't it? Correct or not? The centripetal and centrifugal force. Similarly, all the gods, the space, air, space is not a god, but air, fire, water, earth, we have Varun Devta, Agni Devta, Prithvi Devta, Vayu Devta, and Shani Devta. All the planets are there, the Rudras are there, and the Adityas are there. All of them, Maruts are there. All of them, because they are what? Are they? We call them gods. But from science point of view, what are they? They are productive potential. They are forces in nature which are keeping life, making life possible on this earth or in any of the planes of existences. So and therefore, when you take this life, then you say, oh, astrology, yes, then it is working. But if you take the position of Narayana, then astrology is not working. Why? He is independent. But that astrology will work only for his body when he takes incarnation, not to the spirit, not to the divinity. So here he says, but nevertheless, you are not attached or involved with, so you do everything, like Krishna Bhagwan, he did everything, Ramchandra ji did everything, no likes or dislikes. Sukha dukkha samay krutva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yuddhasva na shochati na kankshati. The Lord or the seeker must attempt. Krishna is telling Arjuna, right? The seeker must attempt to be in the middle of joys and sorrows, mean not swayed by joys, not swayed by dukkha, not swayed by victory, nor swayed by defeat, not swayed by gain, not swayed by loss. And na shochati, na kankshati, not swayed by regrets and guilt, and not swayed by expectations and anxiety. Such a person is qualified to grow. To such a person, the Lord reveals himself. To such a person, the secret of this whole creation is revealed. If you continue to be the way you are right now, you will continue to get what you are getting. Decide what you want in life. Be very clear. Going to temples, going to pilgrimages, going to Kailash, if it is not happening with this background, it is all waste of time. It's all waste of time, including listening to satsang. If we are not subjective in satsang, if we are not having faith in the Lord about whom we are singing so much glory of, if that faith is not there, then it's waste of time. Or clung to those forms, you are not at all affected by the various incumbent characteristic qualities or attributes of various forms, nor do you identify your true self with them. In other words, O Narayana, out of you alone, the entire potential has come out. All the Devtas, all the Maruts, all the Adityas, all the beings, past, present, future, all the Brahmas, Vishnus and Rudras, everyone has come out of you. But you are not attached to any one of them. You are not attached to any one of them. Now what is your sadhana now? Are you attached to everything that is coming by you, or are you unattached? Unattached does not mean that you don't live an inspired life or dull. Oh, I'm not attached to anything. Now what? I'm not attached to satsang. Then what to do? Go to sleep. I'm not attached to food. Then what to do? Complain. I don't like this. I don't like that. Why? You don't want to eat. That's the whole idea. That's like any child. You tell him, hey, mummy has made pizza, your favorite. Nah, I wanted noodles. रोने का ही मुंह चाहिए, हंसता हुआ नहीं होएगा कभी. अगले दिन नूडल्स मम्मी बनाएगी तो कहेगा नहीं मेरे को रोटी चाहिए. What is the main thing behind? Doesn't want to eat. So what is our problem? We don't want to recognize or accept ourselves as the divine. That is where the problem is. That's for all the complaints. That spirituality is difficult. Tirth Yatra is difficult. How many times I have to go to temple? पहली बार जाने से काम हो जाता. Or same thing in satsanga every time. But because you are not available, so you are still finding it's the same thing. We don't get tired of telling the satsang again and again, because for us, every satsang is a fresh one. How many times I have said the same examples, same points. You take Bhagavad Gita, you take Upanishad, you take Ramayana, same points are again and again in different flavors. They are being presented. We never get tired. Every day we are talking. And you get tired of listening. That means somewhere faith is lacking. Commitment to the truth is lacking. The fault is not with the scripture. Fault is not with the teacher. Fault is not with the nature who's presenting you opportunities. Fault is with you. Non-availability. Non-commitment. अब इसका कौन कर? Who can do anything about it? Only you can do it. You don't say, satsang, it's the same thing. You don't say it's the same wife every day I'll go. You don't do that. I think I will not come to the satsang because वही चीज़ स्वामी जी repeat करते हैं. I will not come back to house. Same food, same wife, same bed, same house. I will not come back. Do you do that? सोचो, हट के सोचो. हट के सोचो. Think differently. Then you will get different results in life. If you think the same way, same house. So just like the ocean is unaffected by the expression of the ocean, which is waves. Waves cannot be without ocean. Ocean himself is expressing as waves, but his identity of the ocean is much more than waves. Waves is only on the surface of the ocean. Ocean is much deeper. And therefore, ocean knows that. Wave doesn't know that. The day wave comes to know its essence, it will also not be affected by other waves. It will become ocean. So ocean is unaffected, disentangled from all the expression of its, which are the waves. But what is our case? We are the father, we are the brother, we are the wife, we are the husband, we are the sister, we are the employee, we are the waker, dreamer, sleeper. Everything affects us. Every weather affects us. Little bit cold, heater बढ़ा दो यार, affects us. कम हो गया तो फिर गर्म हो गया तो ठंडा कर दो यार, फिर affects us. Everything affects us. To Bhagwan, nothing affects. We must come to a disposition where we become immune to everything and yet are able to live an inspired life. That knack we have to develop. That knack will only get clicked when we give zero value to the outside world and complete value to the divinity within, which is expressing as life in this body, or to the Lord who is expressing through us. And in this way, Maya, which is Vibhetya Akhilam Moha Karicha Maya, Maya, which is capable of enchanting and keeping the whole world under its spell and its thrall, too is afraid of. That means Maya has got no sway over the Ishvara. So that power because of which we see the ocean as the waves, play in the waves. What is that power? That power because of which a man accepts himself as a husband or a brother or a whatever the various roles, seer, hearer, toucher, feeler, thinker, individual. Is this, you are that spirit, but you are imagining yourself to be an individual. What is that power which makes the infinite consciousness to accept itself as individual consciousness? Aye, teri ki. Something is making it happen. You say, I didn't start, then who started it? Because of whose influence? That is Maya. That inexplicable, it is beginningless, but when we are committed to the divine, when we are committed to the spirit, then the effect of this Maya gets neutralized. So here it is told, O Lord, you are that of whom even this potentiality is afraid. Afraid in the sense, she is subservient to you. Yes, on one hand, right now we are looking it from Ram's point of view. When we look at it from Sita's point of view, come to Adhyatma Ramayana. Huh? And in this way, you are independent. So till here we saw last week, and we concluded the seventh chapter, ninth chapter. Now we get into the 10th chapter, Dhyanam. सरयूतीरमन्दार वेदिका पङ्कजासने श्यामं वीरासनासीनं ज्ञानमुद्रोपशोभितं वामोरुन्यस्ततद्धस्तं सीतालक्ष्मणसंयुतम् अवेक्षमाणमात्मानं मन्मथामिततेजसं शुद्धस्फटिकसङ्काशं केवलं मोक्षकाङ्क्षया चिन्तयेत परमात्मानं ऋतुलक्षं जपेन्मनुम्. This is the prayer. This begins the 10th chapter. This is the Dhyana Shloka of the Aranyakand, not the 10th chapter, but the Aranyakand. Last week some nice thought came about Balakand, Ayodhyakand, and what was the last? हमने कौन सा किया पीछे वाला? हाँ, अब अरण्यकांड शुरू हो रहा है ना. हाँ, so Balakand, Balakand and Ayodhyakand. I remember what I told about it. Tell me, if you say you know. क्या बताया था?
The childhood of Ram was spoken in the Balkan, and then the how and what about the middle age or the growth of.
He's not middle-aged man.
No,
he's still only.
From childhood, he goes to the family life, like the marriage and the kingdom and other things in the Ayodhya, and now he's coming to the next phase of it.
Anyone else? What did I say about Balakand, Ayodhyakand, Aranyakand?
Balkand is when the child is looked after by the parents, like how they look after the child will affect for future, like the education, the other training they give.
Yeah.
And they go to school, the teachers, the gurus, they give him or her the training and information about how to live their life for later in whatever comes in. And then when it comes to then comes to the Ayodhyakand, that's when they start to implement whatever they have learned. And when it comes to Aranyakand, whatever the gurus have taught that person, they will be using it. Guru will no longer be within that time.
Good. Very close. And yes, you are right. So in Balakand, the child is totally free. Parents teach, and then he went and studied with the Guru Maharaj, etc. It was all bookish knowledge. Then in Ayodhyakand, the student, the seeker, Ram or us, the teacher holds the finger of the student and takes him through the world under his tutelage, under his grace, and makes him explore the world, kill under his guidance. He kills the negativities. Tarka and Marich and all that, turned stone into Ahalya and broke the Dhanush. All that was possible because first it was Sage Vashishta who taught him, second it was Vishwamitra. Sage Vashishta taught him till Yoga Vashishta. He taught him complete knowledge. Who is Vishwamitra? See, the names are not just out of the blue. Vishwamitra, he is the friend of the whole universe. He is holding the hand of Ram and Lakshman and taking them out into the world and showing them how to be the friend of the whole world. He is presenting him a different vision which is not given in the books. He is invoking the powers that are lurking within Ram and Lakshman. But how long are you going to hold the finger of the teacher and walk all your life? कहीं पे तो छोड़ना पड़ेगा ना, पल्लू को छोड़ना पड़ेगा. And then when the Aranyakand begins, now Ramchandra ji, Lakshman ji are going to put into practice everything that they have learned not only from Sage Vashishta. Sage Vashishta, they learned what? How to be the self. Yes, administration, arms and emanations, everything there. But main, the creme de la creme knowledge which was gained by Sri Ramji was Yoga Vashishta. And that was when Sri Ramchandra ji realized himself. And the moment he realized, Vishwamitra was waiting outside at that very moment, ready to take him. And he took him, got him married, and made him famous all over the world. His name and glory spread all over the creation. That there is someone by the name of Sri Ram, Dasharat Nandan Sri Ram, a force to be reckoned with. See? And now, Ramchandra ji, Lakshman ji are without the teacher, without the army, without the kingdom. And how do you gain this? See, Ayodhya means what? I told you last week this point you didn't bring out. Ayodhya means that where there is no war. Ayodhya is the city of no war. Where is this?
The mind.
Continuously, good thoughts, bad thoughts, past thoughts, future thoughts. Always war is going on. That's what Sukha Dukkha Samay Kritva, Labha Labha Jaya Jaya. So gain, loss, victory, defeat, joy, sorrow, past, future. Continuously thoughts are only about these. When you are in the present moment, when you are in Ayodhya, there can be no thoughts. Meaning you are always at peace, you are always in tune with your essential nature. And this is what Sage Vashishta taught them. This is what Vishwamitra put into practice, that only when we are in the middle that the potentiality unleashes itself. Only then. If you are sukha, if you become sukhi or dukhi, potentiality will not unleash itself. If you are into gain or loss, potentiality will not unleash itself. If you are in regrets and guilt and expectation and anxiety, potentiality will not unleash itself. You have to be in the center, undisturbed by what the nature is presenting you. Because whatever you are getting is because of your destiny, not because you created it. Everything in Ram's life is happening because it was destined to happen. If all the sages knew what is going to happen. So what knew Ram? क्या उखाड़ लिया रामचंद्र जी ने? सब कुछ तो पता है उनको. Everything there, all the sages know that he is going to meet Hanuman, that he is going to get help from Sugriva. Everyone knows. Only Ramchandra ji doesn't know. Why? Because he is playing the game of being a human. If that is the truth of there, Ramchandra ji, तुम कौन से खेत की मूली हो यार? Everything in your life is already predetermined. Then what you have to do? Rather than react to what is coming in life, remain in the center. Then nothing will affect. Then you will very quickly purify yourself. But what do? Whenever we react to something, we create more data, meaning more samskar. more karma, which become the reason for next life. See? इसमें से निकलना है. On the banks of the Saryu river, under the shade of the Mandara tree, Kalpa tree. What is a Kalpataru tree? That tree which fulfills all wishes. We have to be very careful. If you find such a tree, don't, if you are, and your mind is impure, big problem. Is a magnificent dais or pavilion. On it is spreading a seating mat made of lotus flowers, and the dark complexioned Sri Ram is seated on it. His right hand is held in a gyaan mudra. Gyaan mudra is this mudra, with and in a blessing posture held near the shoulder, meaning here, and the fore and hind arms held closely against the chest. That means he is sitting with his forearms, and his left hand rests on his left thigh. To his left is Sita and Lakshman to his right. Sri Ram what is that? Sri Ram, कहाँ गया यार? हाँ. Sri Ram's stupendous radiance and majestic beauty is superior to that of Kamdev Cupid. He is meditating upon and experiencing the bliss of the peerless, matchless and pristine pure crystal-like consciousness called the Atma soul. Ramchandraji is contemplating on his Atma. Who are you and me? We are contemplating on our wife, we are contemplating on our future, we are contemplating on our investment, we are contemplating on Kailash, we are contemplating on Tirth Yatra, we are contemplating on when will the lecture finish, we are contemplating on what all goodies have come for dinner today. Pathetic our existence, you know. This is not just lightly said. When Ramchandraji is meditating on his own soul, you must do the same. That is your main should be your main pastime under any given circumstance. One should invoke, focus upon and remember Sri Ram with sincere desire for deliverance, emancipation and salvation, and do japa repeatedly of his holy mantra. This comes in Narad Puran, Purvardha. And this is the Dhyana Shloka. Swarayuti Ramandara Vedika Pankajasane Shyamam Virasanasinam Jnanamudropashobhitam Vamorunyastataddhastam Sita Lakshmana Sanyutam Avekshamanam Manmathamita Tejasam Shuddha Spatika Sankasham Kevalam Moksha Kankshaya Chintayet Paramatmanam Rutulaksham Japen Manum. Moksha Kankshaya.
Alert from Google, password required.
Moksha Kankshaya. Kankshaya. Akanksha. Hope. Hoping for realization. Wishing for realization. Seeking realization. So those who are wishing for realization, Moksha Kankshaya, Kevalam Suddha Sfatika Sankashan. Think of that Shuddha, ever pure, Sfatika, unblemished Sri Ram, Chintayet, Paramatmanam. And who is this Sri Ram? He himself is the Paramatma for you. Either you take him as the Brahman, the formless, attributeless reality, or you take him as Ishvara, who is the with qualities and attributes and form, if you want that way. Whichever way you take, result is the same. And what do? Rutulaksham Japen Manum. You continue to chant his name. Rama Rame Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane. Aranyakand, slaying of Viradha. Shri Mahadeva Uvacha, the whole Adhyatma Ramayana began. Why? If you remember, 2 years ago. I have not forgotten. You have forgotten. Why did Ramayana begin? Because Uma, Parvati ji, Parvati is the most beautiful woman. She is the Adi Shakti. And such a beautiful, this Vairagi has married. And instead of looking at her, he is having his eyes closed and sitting in meditation. And she is wondering, what is this fellow? And she says, hello? Hello? हेलो सुनो, सुनना पड़ता है, पत्नी को सुनना पड़ता है. हाँ बोलो. I am such beautiful person sitting waiting continuously when you will open the eye for so many eons I am waiting, and you are not thinking of opening the eyes. Who is so interesting that you are meditating on? I want to know. She is not saying it out of jealousy. She wants to know. She is Pativrata. So she wants to know what is that more interesting than me, which is more holier than me, that is more interesting than me, that is captivating the mind of Lord Shiva than her beauty. It must be worthy that she should also contemplate on him. This is the question. And that's how Adhyatma Ramayana began. And Ramchandra, then Shivji starts telling the story. He says, what I heard, I'll tell you. I can't tell you. I can't tell you about my Aradhya. I'll only tell what I heard. And now again, Shri Mahadeva Uvacha Adhatatra dinam sthitva prabhate raghunandana snatva munim samamandrya prayanayopachakrame mune gacchamahe sarve munimandalamanditam vipinam dandakam yatra tvamagyatumharhasi. Lord Shiva said, O Parvati, Sri Ram stayed in the hermitage of Sri Atri that day, and the next morning he bathed and prepared to leave. Sthitva prabhate raghunandana snatva munim samamantraya. Having taken bath and all, and then done his japa and everything, prayanaya upachakrame, and immediately after japa and bathing, he got ready to leave. Mune gacchamahe sarve muni mandala manditam. He said, O sage, gacchamahe, mune gacchamahe. Gacchamahe is, I am ready to leave now, O great sage. O sage, we wish to go to where? To the Dandakaranya forest, which is adorned by, inhabited by different groups of clusters of hermits, sage, ascetics, etc. Before, where were they living? Where were they living till now? Panchavati. And Panchavati, so many people were. Where is Panchavati? On the outskirts of the Dandakaranya forest. And there so many people were coming and visiting, and therefore now they want to go deeper. Enough, because he has renounced the kingdom. Now he doesn't want to solve people's problem. He has come for what? Ramchandraji has come for what purpose? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge, isn't it? That's why he has taken birth. That way he has come. But that purpose has to be fulfilled. If he remains only in solving this day to day, oh Lord Ram, please bless me, my child should get married. Oh Ram, my child is in year 12, please bless me, bless my child so that it passes the exam. Please bless me that my child is not walking for 2-3 years now. Okay, chalo. ये करने के लिए थोड़ा ना रामचंद्र जी आए. रामचंद्र जी आए रावण को मारने के लिए, साधुओं को बचाने के लिए, दुश्मनों को मारने के लिए, साधुओं के दुश्मनों को जो धर्म के अगेंस्ट हैं, to destroy them. So that purpose, and whether you know it or not, whatever purpose for which you have been born in this life, life is taking you in that direction. When you were born, did you know you will end up in Australia? पाताल लोग. When you were born, घर में रोज बाई आती थी, जमादारनी आती थी, इधर आके तुमने जमादारनी का काम शुरू कर दिया. हाँ, पता था क्या पहले करना है करके ये सब. Whole day only toilet and bathroom cleaning every weekend. Did you know that? No, destiny. But that is at a relative level, because you are thinking you are a person, you are a individual, so that is. But what is your ultimate destiny? Why you have got a human birth? Why you got human birth? Only for one purpose, to realize that you are essentially divine. Only that purpose. Everything else is secondary. If it is meant to be, you are meant to be married, you will get married. I was not meant to be married, I could not. Even if I try, it will not happen. Destiny. Because where is our focus? Are we creating more data for our next life, or are we deleting, allowing the data to be worked out so that we become empty, so that in that empty we realize that we are the infinite one without going to sleep. That is important. See? So, human birth is a rare one. It is only for the purpose of human birth is an opportunity for the soul to realize that it is the infinite. At the relative level, if you don't want the infinite, I am the part of the divine. फिर विशिष्ट अद्वैत आ गया. That I am a part of divine. Where then that soul will go tung 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 tung, merge into Saket, merge into Vaikuntha, merge into Kailash. You decide. Come down further. I am an individual. Okay. What to do now? I don't know why I am born. Many people don't know. Then what do? Drinks, drugs. Then they are lost. Then they are lost in life. They think life purpose is only to make money. Life purpose is only to get married. Life purpose is only to travel the world. Life purpose is only... All this can happen if it is there. If it is written, it will happen. Nobody can stop it. But when you burn all your bridges to satisfy your desires, that's when the problem begins. You are creating lot of unwanted data. That data means samskar. Samskar means, in English, subconscious impressions. Subconscious impressions alone express as desires. They alone are the data with which future births happen. Our purpose in human birth is to dilute and dissolve all the data. Our lifestyle should be such. And therefore, what is it told? Live a dharmic life. Dharmic life does not mean, I am doing my duty. Yes, it means you are doing your duty towards wife without attachment, not with attachment. You are doing your duty towards the world. Yes, you are doing, but without getting disturbed by the world. Yes, you are earning money, but without getting attached to money. It is required in life. Then, if I'm not, if it opportunities are coming, avenues are coming, people are coming, then what do? You keep chanting the name of the Lord. You keep remembering the divine continuously. Let life happen. But what do we want to do? We want to control our life. We want to control our life. Does ocean control the waves? Or without doing anything, all the waves are living as they are meant to live? He's not saying, I don't like you, man. Just, ऐसे ocean तो नहीं करता कुछ. So Bhagwan is neither for nor for you. Ocean is not for any wave nor against any wave. Similarly, Bhagwan also, or Lord also, Ishvara also, is neither for you nor against you. He's left you to your own game, because you created your own attachments. You have to dissolve your own attachments. How? By making a choice to commit to, what was that? Moksha Kankshaya. By desiring liberation, by desiring to merge into the divine, to merge into the Lord, to merge into Narayana. And that is the mainstay of your mind. Slowly, slowly. What is happening now? From all the thoughts of the world, your mind is only thinking of one thought. Ram, Ram, Ram. What is Shivji thinking? Ram, Ram, Ram. What is Parvati ji thinking? Who is he thinking about? I also want to think. Diti went with her husband. He left. Is it Diti? Diti and Aditi, na? So Diti was attached to all wealth. And Aditi, she was she was dharmic. She was committed to her husband. And when her husband decided to leave the family life and went, he said, I am leaving everything, all the worlds and everything to both of you. She said, Diti becomes very happy. Diti is the mother of all the Daityas, all the Danavas, all the negative forces. So she becomes very happy. Materialism is that, all material. She becomes very happy. Everything, oh my God. But she already started planning how to get Aditi out of the way. At that time, Aditi thinks, oh, Swami, what are you going after that is so much more precious that you are leaving all this preciousness? And if it is so precious that you are ready to leave everything, even us who are so dear to you, then I want to come with you. And Aditi became the mother of Devas. See? Are we ready to leave everything to that which is auspicious, for that which is auspicious? And realize that auspiciousness is our being. That Ram is not outside. But take his name, slowly, slowly he'll show you the way. And in this way, O sage, we wish to go to the Dandakaranya forest, which is adorned by different groups of various hermits, sages, ascetics, etc. Our life should not be in tu मैं, दुनियादारी, खाना पीना, ये लो, वो लो, ये दो, वो दो, problem solving about the world. Majority people are only coming for that purpose. Ramchandraji, what does he want? He wants satsang. When you are committed to the truth, then all of you, leaving all your footy match and other serials, you come to satsang. Ramchandraji also wants to go for satsang only. Meet various saints and sages, have some discussion, talk about, because truth is infinite and there are infinite number of ways of looking at it, approaching it, talking about it, understanding it. You can never say that I know it all, because it continues to express in myriad of ways every moment, because creation is continuously changing. And that, just like you can never say, I have come to know the river. By the time you say, I have caught the river has already changed. If you say, I understand the ocean, already ocean has changed, because the waves that you saw are no longer there, new waves have come. So every moment, the change is going on in this creation. And therefore, n number of ways to look at it. We are sitting here in this room, all of us are in a different position. All of us have a view of this room. It's the same room, But no two people's view will be the same. They'll be looking at the room from a absolutely unique position, isn't it? And if I go and sit in her place, I will never be able to sit exactly the way she's sitting. There will be some tweaking there. 1 centimeter here or there, the vision changes. And that is the joy of engaging with scriptures. Scriptures give you the language of looking at, or saints and sages coming in their presence, talking to them, listening to them, going to satsangs. It gives you different ways of looking at the same thing, so that your mind does not hold on to anything. It keeps expanding. It keeps, the crystallization of the mind is called ego. Crystallization of the consciousness is called ego. So the more satsang, the crystallization starts melting, because there's nothing to hold on. It's continuously changing. It's vast. It's infinitely beautiful and varied. In that appreciation itself, saints and sages completely dissolve themselves and go into ecstasy. So they both, this is just one line, Mune gacchamahe sarve muni mandala manditam vipinam dandakam yatra tvam agnyatumiharhasi. O sage, please give us your permission so that we move ahead deeper into the Dandakaranya forest to meet the various sages and saints and sages. Why? What is that? What did I say? Dharma विनाशाय च दुष्कृतम, उसके पहले क्या आता है? यदा यदा ही धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम परित्राणाय साधूनाम. So purpose of Ramchandra ji is paritranaya sadhunam. So many sages in the Dandakaranya forest. In those times, even till now, you will see many. But even in those times, from many cycles of creation, they have been waiting for Ramchandra ji's birth. They have done such great tapasya, some Hatha yogis, some various types of yogis. And their liberation is written when their eyes fall on Sri Ram. And the nature is bringing Sri Ram in their presence. It's not only saints and sages, Rakshasas also are there. Their liberation is also from the hands of Ramchandra ji. So he is going in that. There is an inner pull. Just like after the satsang, there is an inner pull. You will go to the dining table. After that, there is an inner pull. You will ask for chai. Then there will be an inner pull. You will run to the bed, to your house. Then there is an inner pull. You will change your clothes and get into the bed. Something is driving you from inside. When we are in tune with nature by thinking of the divine, this inner pull will take you in the required direction so that your individuality melts. This you cannot work it out. Let him work it out. You remember him. That's all. Bolo Syavar Ramachandra ki jai, Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai, Bolo Bhai Sab Santan ki jai, Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai, Ganga Maiya ki jai, Jamuna Maharani ki jai, Aaj ke Anand ki jai. Namah Parvati Pataye, Har Har Mahadev. Jai Jai Raghuveer Samartha, Jai Jai Shri Gurudev Datta. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment.